Hi guys, this is Barbara Beckman here. Today I want to share with you my rubbish journal, which I'm super excited about. I made this journal a couple weeks ago. Video will be linked below so you can check it out if you'd like to. And here I'm working on the page, one of the first pages. And I found a quote and it said, "The sun loved the moon so much, he died every night to let her breathe." So I really wanted to journal that because I thought it was really super cool. And let me tell you a little bit about this trash journal, this rubbish journal. So it's advertisements that came in the mail, and I feel super guilty because I have my own business and I solicit people too when I do house portraits. I do a lot of work for realtors, so I'm always sending them high quality, beautiful cardstock to them that tells about my business. And all I could think about was people throwing them in the trash. So I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. So these are from like Bed Bath & Beyond, from local pizza shops, from dentists, from everything under the sun that comes through my snail mail. So I saved a bunch of them. It's a Japanese bookbinding technique that I use. And it's really easy to do and it's super fun. And you get a journal. I mean, some of these journals are like 40 bucks. You probably find them cheaper than that, but 30 to 40 bucks, and this is free, so what the heck, why not? So I have a great quote here, and I decided to make it like a one page where it would be on both sides, it would be kind of linked together. So on the left hand side I'm working on the sun, and on the right hand side I'm working on this really whimsical moon. So I had a moon in mind, like the cow jumping over the moon, you know, a little kids kind of thing. And it has a nightcap on. I wanted it to be very whimsical. I wanted the edge of the nightcap to be very kind of curly and whimsical. And I put this little tiny angel on there just because she was just so cute and angelic and she's praying or something. So I added her on there. So I'm using Dylusion paints for this journal, and I do that because I love the pigments. They're really bright and they're just happy. And I have purchased all of them. I do love them, and I found them on Amazon. I'll link everything below, so if you have any questions, you can shoot me email or put it in the comment section, but hopefully I'll remember to link everything. But sometimes I forget, so apologize for that. But just don't be shy, just ask, okay? So this is Dylusions paint, and it is by Ranger. The colors were super awesome. I bought every one. I think I bought like 15 at one shot. They don't have them in my local AC Moore, and they do sell them at some stores, but they're never in stock for some reason. I don't know if they're just so popular or whatever, but I couldn't get them locally. So Amazon, they were here the next day, and here they are in my journals. So I've been using these Dylusions for a while now. I also love his inks, and I just love the products that Ranger makes. Ranger makes a great bunch of our products, so totally addicted to that company. I'm not affiliated with them, I just like their products. So if you notice on my plate here, I use just a regular foam plate that I buy from the dollar store. It works great for my palettes, and I just toss them out when I'm done, so I don't have to worry about anything cleanup. I got into that habit when I started painting classes, and that's what I give my students. It's just easy cleanup, and I just got so used to using them that I use them now here in the art studio. So I used to use the fancy schmancy expensive palette paper, and that's great if you want to save your paint and come back to it a little later on. But these journals are so quick, I just don't put a lot out on the plate. I just use what I can use for journaling. So if I have extra paint, what I do is just open up my little junk journal, and I just put it on the paper randomly here and there, just to kind of give a base to the pages, and that's it. So when I go to art journal, some of them already have paint on them. It's just kind of like, you know, having your gessoed layer just gives me another layer. So I love gessoing these. I just like the way it feels in my hands. I just like how it just, you can still see through it, and you can see the advertisement, and then when you put these paints on it, the advertisement kind of just disappears. So it's really kind of cool. Love these journals. I would encourage anybody to make one and try one. They're super fun, way cheaper than going out and, you know, buying a journal. All you really need is some string, with some wax on it, a good high quality, not like a piece of thread, you know, like a pretty nice substantial thicker piece of string. And again, you could watch my video and see how I did it, and I linked all the tools that I used in there. If you don't have wax string, you can certainly just take a regular house candle or a white candle from the dollar store and run that up across the string a few times, and there you go, you waxed your own string. So it's really simple to do. I've been doing these since I was a young child, and I wanted to show my daughter, who is now 9 years old, that you can take things around the house. You don't have to go buy everything all the time, and you can make treasures right from your own house and what you have on hand. So what I'm doing now is just darkening up the sky. I wanted it to have a couple different colors, and I wanted the moon on the right side to have like a darker midnight sky. So I wanted this to have a little bit of that dark sky on the top here where the sun is, fading down into some of that bright blue and some faded, I added some white to fade the color out a little bit. So now I'm going to work on the second page, which is that whimsical moon, and I'm using very dark acrylic paint that I had here. It's not the Dylusions, it's just regular acrylic paint, because it mixes really well with the Dylusions. And I did not have this color, it wasn't available. Only one blue was available when I purchased these. I'm not sure how many blues that they have, but the one I have here is called London Blue. It's just a great, super fun color. It's so happy. If a color could be happy, these paints are definitely screaming out happy. They're just so pigmented and bright and like a ray of sunshine. So they're really, really fun. And I just like the way they work too. They just have great coverage. As you can see, it's covering right over these advertisements. So when I was done with these pages and I finished them, and I'm so sorry I did not film this. I will film it moving forward from here, but there are several YouTube videos, I think, on how to do it. I just took a regular candle wax from the dollar store, just a candle, and I just rubbed it on the pages all over everywhere. And it gives a nice kind of feeling to in your hands. It's waxy, but what it does is it prevents your pages from sticking together, because you know you work so hard on these pages. I mean, after all, they're trash, and you work so hard to turn your trash into treasure that you don't want to get them ruined. So by putting a nice coat of wax on there helps, and yeah, they don't stick together anymore. So you got to have your wax and you got to have your candles. So see how it blended pretty well together, and I wanted it to kind of look differently, but I wanted it to blend nice together. And somewhere where that seam in the middle where the two pieces were bind together, that's where I wanted to have it kind of blend out and fade together. So they have beautiful colors. I did not mix these with anything. These are right out of the jar, as you can see. And I'm just kind of adding some of the orange to the top of the sun's face. And I'm using very, very, very beautiful colors that all work well together. And I'm trying to think ahead, like what I'm going to do inside these little rays of sun here. And I made them all different colors because I wanted them to be very whimsical. I also use Posca pens in this. Posca pens, if you do not know what they are, it's like acrylic paint in a pen, but nothing like a Sharpie, or you know how you have your paint pens that you have to prime and they kind of get gloppy and they stick, or it's like paint shoots out of them. I don't know why we can't make a Posca pen like this here in the States, because they are just amazing. But sadly, I have to order them through Amazon, and they come from Japan. And they don't take that long. Sometimes you find a manufacturer here, or not a manufacturer here, but a company here that has them in the States that can send them to you, so you can get them relatively quickly. But sometimes I'm waiting from Japan just to get my little Posca pen. But they are great in these art journals. And you'll see I added some of these like whimsical swirls, like to make it look like wind or clouds, or more or less like winds, I guess, or something blowing around up there. So I use Posca pens, and I use Posca pens to also write the quote. I really like this page. I like that it's just the start of the book. I used prompts, though, I have to say. Because I did this book during Lent, I thought maybe I would use it as a Lenten journal. So Lent is 40 days, so I went on and I'm like, what could I do for 40 days? How am I going to come up with these words? And I don't know, I didn't even know they did this, but I stumbled across words, my Lenten words or Lenten journal. So I looked at the words and I thought, all right, they're kind of cool. I mean, one of them was a little weird, like that would be hard to kind of paint or kind of journal. And that was Non-Fish Friday, which I'm so happy that Easter is finally here and gone, so I don't have to worry about Friday. I eat pizza. I don't eat fish, so Fridays are really hard for me. But I love pizza, so that's all we basically eat is pizza. But I don't know what I'm going to journal for that page. But anyway, I went on Pinterest and I Googled Lent, and they had prompts for Lent every single day. You can journal it, so that's what I did. So this first page I lost, which was ashes. Second page, I lost the video to it. When I do my flip through, when I get to the end of the book, I'll show you. I started it during Lent, but I got too busy with commissions, so I just filmed my third one, and this one is the second one. So I'm all over. Now, you don't have to follow these every single day. Like, I used to stress myself out when I started to do like Inktober, and I couldn't get one done in a day. I thought like my whole world ended and I wouldn't do the rest of them. So no, you can just do them as you can. I don't have time to do these every day, but I certainly would love to. It's just unrealistic. So I'm going to take day by day, and it might not be exactly the Lenten journey I was supposed to be on, but it is going to be a journey. So the word is sacrifice, and that's what I did for sacrifice. Is I went on and I found a sacrifice quote that caught my eye, that meant something to me, that made me think and ponder a little bit, and that inspired me to journal. So that's how I came up with these two pages. So the sun loved the moon so much, I love that he died every night to let her breathe. So how many times have we sacrificed ourselves? Especially for children, our children. I have 4 kids, and I know, I remember when I was younger and hearing things like, oh, your mother and father sacrificed so much, and I was so young and I didn't have kids. I was selfish, and I thought, how would you do that? Like, how do you die for somebody even? Like, you hear like people die for parents stand in front of a child to protect them or whatever, and I couldn't quite understand that until I had that first baby and held the baby in my arms and thought, there is nothing in the world that I would not do for you. So I love the fact that this sun loves that moon so unconditionally, just like I love my children and my husband. And yeah, so he just kind of went to sleep every night to let this moon rise up and shine and be present for a time being. So they're sharing the sky. I just totally love the whole thing. I love the little angel that I have here that I'm painting right now, sitting here just watching the moon as she breathes. And I love that the moon is a female. I always thought like the man in the moon, you know, with the children's stories, but I wanted this moon to be kind of like those storybook moons where you have that big old whimsical hat and just the side view with the puffy cheeks. But she had some nice pink tones to her and some purple, and she definitely is a female, and I just love the way the whole thing came out. And I love the angel sitting here praying to her or talking to her or asking her for advice maybe. Who knows what they're doing up there, but they're good friends. And it was super fun to journal this one. I hope you guys give it a try, and I hope you make your book. You know, books are really expensive, and it was just so much easier to take trash mail and turn it into something that would be a treasure. I've had mine, like ones that I started when I was in high school, oh my God, 100 years ago. And they look great. I still look at them. I still turn the pages. I show my kids. I still have them on a shelf, and they've held up all these years. So I don't even remember where I learned. I think it was in home ec I learned how to stab bind. Did I even have home ec classes now? Oh my gosh, am I really outdating myself? I don't know. But I think that's where I learned, in like a sewing class. I definitely did not learn it from my art teacher. My art teacher, although I love him, he was colorblind, and he was a crazy kooky man who I love and adore. He actually came to my wedding many years later. But he's definitely an eccentric person, and he did not teach me these cool things. I wish he had done so. I don't even know if he knows how to do these things. He did give me my very first art journal, I have to say, when I graduated from high school. He gave me an art journal, and he wrote, you have the world at your fingertips. No one can make it better than you. And apparently it was a song from an album that he loved, and I didn't quite understand it until I was much older. But I thank him for giving me the gift of art journaling, because he did kind of prompt that. So thank you, TJ, wherever you are. I hope that you watch my videos from time to time. So anyway, here I'm just making some circles and adding some interest with some stencils. I'm trying to not go over the moon so much, but then I decided to go over her a tiny bit. I just thought it would add some interest and make it some, you know, not so predictable that I wouldn't be going over her. So yeah, that's what I did. So I hope you like this journal, and I hope you give it a try. I hope that you watch my other journal, my video, to see how I made this thing. And I wonder if there's any other prompts out there that I could like look up and do too. Because some of these words, like maybe I can just switch them out. Would that be cheating? I don't even know. Yeah, that non-Fish Friday one's going to be a little challenging for me. But I like these words. So some of them are discipline, wisdom, mentor, bowling, volunteering, family time, recharge, reflection, neighbor. They were really, really good words. I guess that's why somebody used it as a Lenten book. It's a good bunch of words to reflect on. Sometimes I did like a couple of these, like the Inktober ones, and the words were like so weird. Like I remember this year there was sword, and I'm like, sword. It just, I don't know, brought out the darkness in me. So hopefully this Lenten book will bring some light and happiness into my life. But isn't Lent supposed to be like a dark, dreary time that you kind of reflect and kind of go into a dark place until you then hit Easter, and then you're all in the sunshine and light again? I don't know. So anyway, so make your book whatever book you want. It's also cool to do like a scrapbook. And I have some that I've done with my jelly prints, and I've actually done baby books and stuff. I should just flip through some of these one day, but I don't know, how boring would that be? But this probably is a very boring video too. So I apologize for talking so much. I don't like to put music on my videos, and I'm not really teaching you anything here so much as, you know, technique. It's just playing. And that's just what I like about art journaling. I do a lot of different layering, and I use a lot of different mediums too in my art journals, which you'll see. And I kind of like to do faces. I like to practice. But this is more kind of like, I don't want to say it's like commercially art. It's just kind of like, is it whimsical art? I don't know what it would be even considered. It's definitely not realism, which is what I have to work on when I'm doing my job. So if people are paying me a lot of money to paint a portrait of their loved ones or their house for their realtors, I have to paint realistic. So this is where, yeah, it's just a lot of fun. So I hope you try it, and I hope you watch the rest of these. I don't know what I'm going to come up with after this. I don't even know when I'm going to get a chance to work on the book again, so it's not like it's going to be tomorrow. But it'll be soon, I promise. I do a lot of different things on my channels too, and I feel bad because I have a lot of different art interests. I mean, I am an artist, that's what I do, but I have other things, like I like to craft too, and I would say I'm a fine artist before I would say I was a crafter, but I do like to play and craft and dabble with everything. So you'll see a lot of different things on my channel. It's not just going to be colored pencils or acrylic paint. It's going to be whatever artistic things I do. So I maybe should have named my channel something else. I don't know. But I like to, like, summer's coming up, and I like to do like garden rocks, and I like to do stuff with concrete and clays and mosaics, and I've tiled bird baths, and I love painting bird feeders and all different stuff in your yard, and different stuff that I find along my way, like different metal things for the yard, like metal, I guess, plant things, hangers or whatever, I don't know. Wrought iron stuff. I like to do things and I like to create different things with them. And I like to take trash out of garbage cans. Like I took beautiful, really wrought iron, bad looking like couch kind of thing. It was a small couch and a chair, and I scrubbed it down with like wire brushes and all sorts of stuff, and I painted it bright yellow with a red cushion on it. It's beautiful. So I like to do all sorts of different art things. I don't just have one thing that I focus on. So sometimes I feel bad. I do a lot of different things on my channel. I do a lot of jelly printing, but I love showing you my portraits and how I paint them in colored portrait, and to give instruction on some of them. So that's basically what this channel is going to show you. It's going to show you a lot of different things. So subscribe if you want to see a bunch of different stuff, and don't subscribe if you think you're going to see the same thing over and over and over again, because that is so totally not me and my personality, and I don't want to you know, have anybody be misguided or think that I'm just going to be doing the same old thing. That's so far from who I am as a person. So I'm a little bit all over the place, and if you don't mind that, you might, you know, see something that you haven't done before, or something that you've done that you might see a different way of doing. A lot of these things I've kind of come up with on my own, just by playing and just by experimenting. So you never know what you're going to see on here, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So here's my black Posca pen, and I just went ahead and I highlighted the sun, gave her some eyelashes, and that's about it. So here's my book. I hope you loved it, and I hope you watch my other videos, and I hope you make one yourself. I really do. And, you know, link it below so I can take a look at it. Have a great night, everybody, and it's good to be back, and I will see you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye now.